I have a couple of special guests here with me this morning. I want you to please welcome from the Tyler Rotary Clubs. We have Mary Burch and David Jones. I should have switched you guys' names. I didn't see that y'all were standing right there. They're both up there, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for letting us be here.
Absolutely. Okay, so we had a little bit of a switch up earlier this week, correct? It looks like there was a little bit of a schedule change. Can you talk us a little bit through it?
Yes, there's going to be huge thunderstorms tomorrow, and on Monday, we were somewhat asked to go ahead and make the decision to either postpone, reschedule, or cancel. And we tried all the alternatives, and the only thing that, sadly, that we could do was cancel.
Yes. So, walking through that decision, right, you said that you tried your best to postpone, to reschedule. So take me a little bit into those conversations. How did it happen that canceling probably was our best bet here?
You want to answer that?
Well, the reason we had to cancel is because some of our main entrants that really make the parade special, like the Clydesdales and
Santa
and our
Mrs.
Santa
Claus.
and Mrs. Claus, which that couple has been our staple for the last several years, and they had already booked for the entire month. And so when this came up, it kind of caught us totally off guard. We've been doing this for 8 years and have never been confronted with the weather.
Ever.
And on top of that, since we've only done this sort of thing for 8 years, we're kind of still novices at doing parades.
Oh, yeah.
And this has been a learning curve for us and the Rotary Club Planning Executive Committee.
Yeah.
That next time we come, we will probably do a better job of having an alternative date available in case of.
Well, and that makes so much sense. You know, I love to kind of live by, I don't know what I don't know. You know?
Yes.
And sometimes we just don't. Sometimes we think we got all of our bases covered, and then something happens and you're like, oh, I would have never even thought that this was a possibility. Let's go back to the drawing board and make sure we're covered. So talk us through plans for, you know, moving forward if this is to happen again. How do you have like a set, are you guys working on those plans, and what do they look like?
Well, it looks like we already had the new date for December 5th. It's always the first Thursday after Thanksgiving. Okay. So sometimes this year would have been November 30th. Right. So we've already tentatively booked December 12th as the backup. Okay. And that will be contingent upon the Clydesdale schedule and the Santa Claus. But Thursdays seem to be the best day because Wednesdays, church night. Mondays, Tuesdays, probably not so good. But that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. Now, there are a lot of people, obviously, that were set to be a part of the parade that I'm sure you guys were looking forward to. Can you give us a few, just some shout-outs of ones that you were specifically very excited about being a part of this year?
We had several, of course, the TISD bands. We had all of the schools and bands and the pep squad and the drill teams, et cetera. And those are always exciting. And we have such a wonderful relationship with TISD and delighted that the entire district is behind the parade.
There's like 14 schools.
Exactly. And so it worked out.
2 high schools.
It worked out beautifully. And then the corporate sponsors that have helped us have been wonderfully supportive, and without them, we probably could not get this thing off the ground. And we have 150 of our own Rotarian volunteers that come together to put this thing together. And so it is a major task. And even our entrance this year, we were at 120 individual entrants. And so that's a lot of people.
Which includes like the TJC band, which is probably a couple hundred, and the Apache Bells. So,
do you have a estimate of a total head count of people?
It's probably 15,000 of the public that comes to see. All of the entrants is probably several thousand. Wow. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a major, and that's one of the reasons why changing gears at the last moment, that's tremendously difficult to get all those logistics in line, since we didn't plan on having to do this, since never having thought about it happening before.
And it's held.
Yeah.
The lightning and downpour is still coming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And for safety and security.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Exactly.
There's no cover down here. Where will we go?
Yeah.
The
That's such a good question. I have no idea, but I can understand the thought process a little bit better now, right? It's
Right.
affecting almost 15,000 people. You have children holding a bunch of metal instruments, walking down. You just can't risk it for the safety of all of the community, especially because
Correct.
it sounds like so much of the community descends on. And it's, I understand that so much work has been put into it, and
Yes.
so much blood, sweat, and tears and passion, but it's a show of love for the community above all else, right? And so you can't put them in harm's way after you're trying to tell them you love them, you know? Yeah.
We actually work on the parade year-round.
Yeah.
And so we had already scheduled our follow-up meeting to be 2 weeks.
Right.
And then start doing the evaluations and the replanning and the corrections, et cetera.
Oh, yeah.
And picking the date for next year, et cetera. So, and it's not like this is thrown together last-minute decisions. We take it very seriously.
Yeah, as you should, with so many people involved, and I mean, it's a staple of the community, and so I completely understand. Now, before we go, is there anything else that you want the viewers at home to know about the decision, about the parade this year, or parades moving forward, that we haven't gotten to yet?
Just that we were devastated for everybody concerned. The city, all of our Rotarians. It's 3 Rotary Clubs. Wow. We're with the Rotary Club of Tyler.
Right.
And then there's South Tyler Rotary and Sunrise. And we all work together. It's huge, and it's such a camaraderie ship. And the city, and then all of the Clydesdales, we get them every year. I mean, they're already booked. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like David said, the pre-planning starts. It already had started.
Right.
And so when we had to give the new date, we were ready.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for coming here on East Texas Now and kind of providing some clarity and some insight into what all goes into the parade and what all went into making that final decision for cancellation, and then what is going to happen moving forward now that we know better. Now we can plan better, right?
Yes.
Thank you guys so much again for coming and chatting
Well,
with
thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm
It's
sure
been a
we'll
delight.
talk again soon.